trail it ends had begun more than 3,000 miles away. In February of 1963, a jet plane arriving from West Berlin made its final approach at Logan Airport. Aboard were 6 new recruits for the city's police department. The recruits were accompanied on the long flight by an internationally known law officer, Inspector Hanning of the West German police. Reppening moved with the easy confidence of a man with a solution. He had been faced with enormous problems in a city wrecked by war and then split by political hatreds. In the post-war years, Berlin, like other major cities all over the world, found itself under assault by a new wave of criminal elements, and without sufficient manpower to hold it in check. Reppening's answer: highly trained dogs. The handlers and their charges were now meeting for the first time. All had been carefully selected, then paired off. The next few months would be a time of adjustment, no less difficult for the dog than the man. The recruits were carefully bred German Shepherds, a gift to the city from a magazine in West Berlin. But gift or not, it was still an experiment, and they were on trial. The training of a dog for police work is based on something deeply rooted in nearly all dogs, an almost instinctive loyalty. For even one word of praise, a dog will do anything his handler commands, even at the cost of its life. During these training sessions, the police officer comes to appreciate the qualities of courage and perseverance in his dog. He has also learned that just as humans, these animals respond to kindness. A police dog is not by nature vicious. He has no prejudices, no preferences among people. The only law he knows is the one reflected in the command of his handler. Training calls for immediate obedience. Nothing is forced, and the results must come from a mutual respect. Beyond the hard savaging this training calls for is a factor even more important: the almost mystical relationship between man and animal, one that goes back to a time neither can remember, when a menacing shadow was illumined on the wall of a cave. Aggressiveness is one of the qualities that make the German Shepherd valuable in police work. The breed is an old one, begun in 1899. In World War I, the German Shepherd was used to carry messages across battlefields, his speed and agility taking him places where men could not travel. Ancestors of this dog fought with Napoleon, and before that with Caesar and Alexander. The bond with man is an old one. At home, even a trained police dog is just another pet, and like anyone who works for a living, enjoys moments of relaxation. His training has prepared him for one of the most specialized jobs for animals anywhere in the world, and one of the most dangerous. But in this setting, he's no different than a pampered poodle. The police dog shares the life of his handler as completely as any animal can. With guests, he is wary, but friendly. And with children, he assumes the bored tolerance of a big brother, too old for games, but still young enough to want to take part. The few hours ago, he may have been moving in darkness through a tangle of broken fence after the scent of a robbery suspect. Now children maul and pull at his ears in a game of hide and go seek. Beyond the comfortable home, there is often the sordid and brutal and violence. For now anyway, it's peaceful, with nothing to do but share in a little girl's dream. A morning filled with sunshine, but somewhere in the normal everyday activity of a supermarket parking lot, there's a flaw, the tiny shadow in the picture. On a Friday, a supermarket has more than the usual amount of money. At 11 o'clock, an armored car is scheduled to pick up the day receipts, but that is still a few hours away. Guarding life and property for a dog is as old as his relationship with man. With a trained police dog, this natural response can be used to help protect large areas of the community. The world of children is part make-believe, part miracle, and they're worth more than diamonds because for each of us they contain the future. Their world is also a vulnerable one, and you know that as much as you will know anything on the day that one of them is missing. child, everyone becomes involved. You discover an urgency in the man next to you, and you realize, for that moment anyway, your mind has become a scrapbook of small tragedies. No one allows himself to think of other searches, all begun with the same high hopes and on days filled strangely with the sun and the scent of birch and pine, of those other searches that ended with the discovery of a piece of bright ribbon and a small death. There were no more doubts about the dogs. You knew that the moment you saw the woman's face. They had proved loyalty and courage. You could only hope man deserved it.